Well, the two sessions are crucial for China's development, and they're also drawing global attention. So now let's listen to what the chiefs of the Bank of England, the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund had to say.
Well, I think we have a very constructive view on the Chinese economy. I wouldn't necessarily term it as a slowdown. It's a series of transitions. Transitions, as you well know, from external demand to more domestically focused, from export to consumer, from manufacturing to services, all those transitions underway. And we see real progress being made in all of those. Now, anytime you have transitions of those scales, even one of them, you're going to have some volatility. It's understandable. And then as well, something we did talk about over the last few days, on the financial side, on the capital account side, the adjustments to currency policy, very sensible in my view, but also the capital account opening for inbound foreign institutional flows into the bond market, which I think is a very exciting development.
Structural reforms that are required are different in different economies, but they're difficult to make because they're politically unpopular often. But I mean, if you let's look at China. China is making reforms in the financial sector in terms of government services and practices, reforming very difficult to reform things like pension systems and the hukou system. But that is what's needed. There are concerns. People are watching China very closely. But as we've watched China, we think that there are things that are happening here that are very positive from the perspective of the decision that was made to change the drivers of growth. We do see consumption is up. We do see the service industry is now more than half of Chinese GDP. And this is why here in China, despite lower growth numbers, the fact that they've stuck with the choices that they made to move to a more sustainable but lower growth trajectory, the fact that China is sticking with those reforms, I think, is a very positive sign.
We don't see a hard landing as a very high probability. The economy continues to grow. It's slowed a little, but it continues to grow. I think what's interesting is that the economy is not just one economy now. There's a part of the economy that's slowing, the export-oriented heavy industry part of the economy. But there's another part of the economy, the part that derives from household spending. It's partly services, it's partly durable goods that's growing and growing pretty quickly. So there's a kind of a transition underway. It'll be complicated. It may be a bumpy transition, but it's continuing. You know, the important thing for the rest of the world is that even if there's no hard landing, this transition will be very meaningful for the rest of the world.